Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the garage full of the skittles, where you join me for the start of this year's Where's Shmee Eurotour. Now the squad will know every year I set off on a huge adventure to take in visits to factories, museums, collections, test drives, track days, events. And this year is going to be even bigger and even better than before. But we're starting off here in London to load up the Ford GT, which is going to be heading down to Italy to go to Sparco to have a few modifications made to it. Now for the majority of the trip, I'll be driving in the new Ferrari GTC4 Lasso, currently over in Frankfurt. I'm looking forward to stretching its legs, using it for a grand tour, but we'll also be joined later on by the Senna for a bit of track action. Can't wait to see what that's about. And also, of course, the GT when some of these changes have been made. So today, I need to get it loaded up before I'm going to be taking a flight to go pick up the GTC4 Lasso as well later on. We've got all sorts of things going on. Let's get this started. It's the 2019 Where's Shmee Eurotour. This does of course mean that the newest Shmee-mobile, the Suzuki Jimny, is going to be staying here until I get back and can shoot some more videos with it. The 675 LT and the GT8, those are also going to remain tucked up at home. This trip is about the three, I think, biggest acquisitions of the last few months: the GT, the Senna, and the GTC4 Lasso. The GTR also going to be staying here, tucked next to Benzene Ben's Mustang. The Red RS is going to be heading to Mountune to have a few more things done to it. The Heritage RS is also over in Germany, but that is, yes, definitely now looking like a very colourful lineup. So why would I want to change anything about this car? I think that's going to start to make sense when we get it over and I can show you exactly what's being done. So first things first, I need to get this car. I've prepped it already. I've got a trickle charger with a European socket because it's going to be around Europe for a little bit now. But let me come through, let's get it started up and let's get this car out and ready to be loaded. Okay then, let's do this. It's going to be a very strange one, leaving all of the other cars for the moment, but I'm going to get this started up. I can't wait actually to start building even more miles and memories with the Ford GT. So let's do this. The big red button, take a listen, let's bring it into life. And I actually think, if you can hear me, that this car's getting a touch louder as it does more miles as well and more air flows through the exhaust. So I'm looking forward also to having even more fun with it than we've already had. So the inside is where most of these changes are going to be. But let me take it outside, load it onto the truck, and then I'll catch my flight and we'll continue from there. There we go then, locked and loaded into the transporter and ready now for the 1,000 or so mile journey down towards Italy. And yes, I would love to drive it, but trust me, it's not a grand touring car. Putting an extra 1,000 miles on the clock just to sit on motorways, and there's nowhere to put any luggage either. So in about 2 days time, I'm going to meet up with the car down at Ambro store, the Ford dealer in Milan. They're going to be responsible for taking out some of the interior parts. They're a GT authorized dealership that we can then take those parts over to Sparco to have the work completed. So it's going to take the car about 2 days. I've got some more things to film in the meantime, then we're going to be reunited with it, which for you guys is going to happen any second. And good morning then from beautifully sunny Milan, where you join me at Ambro store Ford, the dealership here in Milan. The transporter's just pulled up. We'll be unloading the GT, getting it inside, where I can tell you a little bit more about what we're actually going to be doing with it. And there she is, just like how we loaded it up a couple of seconds ago on this video, but ready now to be taken inside. We've got all the straps off, got it unloaded, and ready to have some things done on the interior. So this is all about the inside of the car. Sparco actually make the interior. It is unlocked right now, so I can just pull this open very gently. And yeah, to do with the seats. But let's get it off the truck, take it in, and then I'll start explaining. How cool is this then? Another country visited for the GT, touchdown on Italian soil. Yeah, I love doing this, and it's a big thanks to Box Fast Transport for bringing it down. So we're now going to take this car inside around the back and yeah, then get to work, I think, get started with what needs to be done. A very quick quick introduction to this then. Inside the car, you may be aware that the seats are part of the tub. The seat base is actually fixed into the car, so to have these parts removed and taken out to go to Sparco to have extra work done, it actually has to be done by the Ford dealerships authorized to do so. So we're going to be taking out the backrests, we're going to be taking out the bases, because they're going to be changing slightly, so those need to come over. That's the work we're going to be doing here before we take them off later on to go over to Sparco to actually show you what's going to be done to them. The first seat is out, the driver's seat, which is actually quite interesting to look up close. Of course, it's Alcantara, you've got carbon fiber, but have a look at the back of this. There's the Sparco logo here, the carbon back seat. It's, I mean, pretty light as you'd expect, but it's also got a pouch. It's got a pouch on the back of the seat when it tucks basically onto the backboard. I had no idea, but now I do. Maybe I could go old school and put a map or something back there. But yeah, it's basically these four parts. You can see just down on the floor there is the base of the driver's seat, and all of these have to come out. And then when they are all out, we can just take these over to Turin to go visit Sparco. Nice and easy. I'm now sat inside the car, not on a seat. So I'm literally sitting straight on the carbon fiber tub. My legs are completely straight, and there's a little bit more room as well for a helmet. But let me try and just climb out of here, which is slightly funny to do, and give you a better view of what it's actually like now inside. And you might be wondering why the passenger base is there. That is to do basically with the airbag sensors. If you don't have the seat there, it would be setting off all sorts of alerts. But basically, you've got the carbon tub of the car. There's a bit of Alcantara here on the backboard. The seat belts, of course, are disconnected as well. And that is one very stripped out interior with all the parts now ready for us to take on to the next stop. So what we're going to do, pop the car into neutral, tuck it away in the corner, and then everything can continue from there. All the seats are packaged and loaded up, and of course we also have the passenger base as well now. We're going to hop on in and take these over to Sparco, about an hour and a half to Turin. Here we are then, arriving at Sparco. Now, I've visited a couple of times in the past. They have a shop here as well where I came to get my custom racing gear a couple of years ago. But we'll swing round, head on in, and go and find out what we're going to be doing. We've come straight in to where the magic happens. This is Sparco's seat manufacture and assembly. Now, they make seats for a number of different cars in different sections. So over here, you have the seats for Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio models like the Giulia and the Stelvio. Over towards this side is actually Lamborghini. Next up here, you have the Lotus Evora R. So you can see a few different examples around, the black here with the yellow stitching. If we keep coming through, towards the left side is where the covers themselves are actually made and stitched. And even, you can see in the box just up there are the new covers for my seats, because over towards this side is the Ford GT production area. So you can see these racks with all the different original combinations that are available. My seats are still in their covers here from Ambrose store. We've just put them on the racks. The base is down there and the backrests, but mine look, just as a quick reminder, like this. Dark Energy it's called, one of the standard options that you can have. I think there are 5 different ones you can have in total, including the upgrade to leather that you have here and a couple of different colors. But for my seats, I've taken inspiration from something. So I'm sure many of you will know the colors of my car come from the Alan Mann Racing team, red and gold. In fact, Alan Mann Racing's actual gold paint was used as a sample to create the colors for my stripes. So given my car is a bit of a one-off, a special tribute, Sparco are allowing me to do this as a one-off project to take inspiration for my seats from this, the Golf Heritage Edition. So the Golf Heritage for 2019 and 2020 is painted in the 2 colors, the Golf light blue with the Golf orange accents. And as such, on the inside, you have this double stitch. That's the base. Let me just come round, because there are actually some backrests I can quickly show you here as well. The leather used for the backrest, but again, with that double stitch and also around the headrest. So what we're going to do for mine is go with red and gold, replacing the blue with red, the main body color, replacing the orange accent with the gold from my car. And there's even an example of this. If we come through just to take a look at the seat covers, which will eventually find their way onto my car itself, this is exactly what we're doing. So the stitch colours themselves, I actually chose from a whole different variety, held them out against the car so we have the perfect match for the gold and for the red. This is just a test piece to show you what it's going to be like when it's all done onto these actual covers before they're mounted back onto my seats themselves and then placed back into the car. This is really, really cool to be able to do this, a special one-off. But I am so excited to be able to add even more personalization, individualization, and make this car even more special than it already was. The stitching is being done right now in front of our eyes. You can see the 2 threads for the gold and for the red. If we come through,
double stitch being done around the seat cover, looking absolutely amazing. This is going to be fantastic when it's installed into the car. I cannot wait to see the final result.
We've moved over to the other side where all of the bespoke race suits are made and embroideries are done, and this is what we're taking a look at now. One of the headrests literally being embroidered right in front of my very eyes. If you can hear me over the noise, that's going to be one of them. The other has already been done. We can see that right here with the exact same thread, of course, used for the GT logo that's on the headrest as we have for the surround around the outside. But there we go, literally in action, takes a couple of minutes, the file is loaded up, the embroidery is done, and then that will be part, of course, and attached to the rest of the covers as they go then onto the seats. You can see it's about to complete the very final part of the T to finish off the GT logo, and bang on cue, there we go. I think that is now completely done. I can hear the notification. The thread, the embroidery is done for the GT logo. Wow, on the black Alcantara, that's really cool. That's gonna look so good. Imagine when you're sitting outside the car, looking through the glass windows, and you can see that in the headrest. Something I really, really like about different cars where I got embroideries done, and here, that's exactly how I imagined it. It is absolutely fascinating seeing this work in progress, the stitching and the embroidery, getting a sense of what it's going to look like when I come back in a couple of weeks to pick up the seats, take them over to Ambrose store to fit them back in the car and have the completed look to the interior. Of course, I also changed the wheels on the car itself, installing the BBS FIR, but basically creating a car that is really and truly unique and special to me, my own heritage to the Alan Mann Racing team. There is, however, one other thing that I haven't yet told you about. So here at Sparco, they also have the shop where you can see race suits, steering wheels, shoes, all sorts of different things, even a racing simulator as well. Now, a couple of years ago, we came here to pick up my bespoke Shmee 150 race suit, my gloves, my shoes, and also some helmets that I'm still wearing in the videos that I'm shooting. This one other thing kind of connects to those, but you're going to see what it is when we do eventually come back here. Now, they also have a few of their other seats that they make, and over on this side, you have the seats of the Alfa Romeo 8C, the Lamborghini Reventon, and something else pretty nice alongside. And I have in the past actually sat right here in the Reventon seat as well, so we're back. But I am very excited to see where this goes. Truly cannot wait to show you guys the finished result in a couple of weeks' time, just before we head to Top Marks Monaco with the Ford GT. So it's a big thanks from me to the team at Ford Ambrose store, also to the team here at Sparco for allowing me to come in, show you behind the scenes and a small sense of what's going on with this car ahead of its completion. So thank you very much as always for watching, guys. I appreciate your support. That's it for this time. I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.